Join me, 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty, on my podcast, My Life of Crime, as I take on true crime investigations like no other. This season, I'm looking into the labyrinth of crime and secrets within families. I'm cutting straight to the evidence and talking to the people directly involved, including investigators and the families of victims. Listen to My Life of Crime with Erin Moriarty wherever you get your podcasts.
Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, random episode, but you know what? Hey, let's talk about it. Let's talk about when people get life without parole, like heading into prison and stuff. That is probably, you know what really trips me out though, when they get sentenced to like a certain amount of time in prison, but it might as well be life. Like a person, they'll be all like, oh, we hereby sentence you 100 years in prison. Like somebody and let's just say like the youngest the person is gonna probably be, like 18. All right, 18, they're an adult. Do you honestly think that a person is going to be alive then, especially with like just on how the different things? I've watched so many different shows and movies and seen documentaries and just so many different things on how prison is like. I don't think nobody is going to live up to be 100. They're going to be the oldest prisoner of all time. And if that's the case, then like what? They're going to most likely once when they reach, I don't even think, let's just see like the oldest prisoner ever. Because I highly doubt prisoners lived beyond like a certain amount of age. So oldest prisoner in the world. Okay, oldest prisoner in the world. 93 years old. So he was the only one, the longest serving prison sentence in United States history that ended upon his release, parole, time served 68 years. That's it? That's the 10 oldest prisoners. Okay. Because yeah, I need to know this. So he was number 10, 86 years of age. 86 years old, okay. 92. Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, 86 don't seem like that's all that old. 89, 92, 93, 94, 95, 100 years old. There's like oldest age while in prison. 100 years old. Dang, they say that guy, he passed away in 2020. That's crazy. Time served several sentences, but last one from 2010 to 2017 originally sentenced in 1967, 101, and then there's like he time served was briefly. I'm looking for like the oldest in prison. It seems like a lot of these guys had like got out of prison at some point in time. Like I'm looking for people that were like in prison and stuff. Like they life without parole and they were in prison and things, but it looked like a lot of these guys had just overall like, so it overall it's like people that have been to prison, but I'm like more so in prison because yeah, it's like a lot of these guys was just serving some years and then then they died at an old age. But outside of prison though, but I mean like while in prison, I don't think you're gonna live up to be like, I think they said this guy was 108 years old. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna live up to that age in prison. I mean, you never know what the future holds. Like I feel like if a person lives to that age in prison, that has to be one of the most like just like it has to be one of the most just like secured, safe, peaceful, like every word that you possibly can think of that prison being a good prison and stuff. But other than that, so that's the one show that I've actually been watching like moments of on YouTube, because they have a YouTube channel. It's 60 Days In. If prison is anything like that, I feel like so much stress. I feel like that they, you don't really see too many prisoners messing with the old dudes in there and stuff. They're all like, oh, that's OG, leave OG alone. OG ain't did nothing to nobody. He just here serving his time and stuff. But other than that, though, it's like, when you see the way everybody else, what they be going through, like, yeah, they be going through some crazy stuff. Like, dudes be out there just getting jumped in prison and stuff for no reason. Like, so there was the one thing that they showed. I think that's probably the main motivation. It was that, and then also a comedy skit that I had just posted today on TikTok, where I was thinking, like, dang, man, like, life without parole, that's a harsh sentence. But no, there was a clip on that TV show 60 Days In where the guy, he was hearing voices from the TV saying that the dude, he was in there for like doing things with the child. And the guy did it. He was one of the people that's a part of that show. So to explain what 60 Days In is, it's a TV show where like people volunteer themselves to go into prison and I guess like try to figure out, like, it kind of like an experiment, and then they observe things from the prisoners and I guess report back to the guards or warden, whoever is in charge of all that stuff. But yeah, overall, like, that's what that show is. So they do that, and the one guy was there, yeah, just observing, looking around. He wasn't in there for like no crimes or anything. He was in there on his own well-being. Guy just randomly just ran up on him and just started punching him in his face, talking about, oh yeah, the voices from the TV told me that you were doing things with a child. And it's like, are you crazy? Like, and the thing is like, you could tell like the difference between the dudes that are not in prison and then the dudes that are in prison, like the ones that ain't got nothing to lose and stuff. Yeah, they would have got up and start swinging back at that guy and been like, hey, yo, what's wrong with you, man? Like, you can't be hitting people. Are you crazy? Hitting me across my face because you talking about you hearing voices. Where you gonna hear my voice to let you know real quick, don't do that no more. So like, that make that the last time you do that. You hearing voices from the TV, put the TV on mute. But do not hear no voices and then try to turn that stuff on me. It's like, nah, bro, you crazy for that. So, but no, the guy, when he got up, he's like looking at everybody for like, and it's like, bro, you gotta remember that you're in prison. Like, you gotta stand your ground and stuff, so. But I think though, like, you can't like interact or do nothing with the prisoners and stuff, so like, you can't, like, I don't think he could have hit him, but knowing me, I would have forgot that I was on the show. If I wake up to somebody hitting me, I'm going off on that guy, and they're gonna be all like, nah, man, he's something wrong with him, he's just crazy. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna show him what angry crazy is like, just so he knows not to do that no more. You, like I said, you hearing voices from the TV, you better put that TV on mute, turn it off, change the channel to cartoons, and say like, oh yeah, Tyler, he's a nice guy, you better hear them voices, because I ain't did nothing to you, homie. So, but no, but like, I mean, just with all the other stories that you hear of like prison and all that stuff, I think they said when Bill Cosby, when he went to prison that time, somebody threw a hot dog bun or a hamburger bun or something in his face, like, and I think I remember, because it was I can't remember who it was that said it was sad. I think I know who it was, but they were saying like, that's sad. I'm like, that's prison. I'm like, that sounds a lot that sounds like the least worst thing that can happen to you in prison compared to the other stuff that I've seen and heard about on what goes down in prison. Like, speaking of, on that 60 Days In show, there is a dude that got shanked on in one of them episodes. Like, it was crazy. Like, prison is a crazy thing. So like, when you think about life without parole, that's like, you have no way possible of getting out. Like, you are stuck in prison unless you can prove your innocence. But if you cannot prove your innocence, you're stuck in there. And I know people probably ask, like, how would I handle life without parole? If my thing is this, if it's a crime that I know I committed and it led me to getting life without parole, I just gotta accept that. It's gonna probably be the hardest thing to accept, and that's why I would never go out and do no crime that's gonna get me life without parole. But either I would try, so like, if it's that, where it's like, it's something that I know I did, caught on camera, caught in 4K, there ain't no way of escaping it, I just gotta overall live with that, and yeah, just overall just accept my fate and stuff. But if I know that I'm innocent, okay, I will be thinking of everything possible. I will be helping the police officers trying to prove my innocence. I'm like, bro, we need to check cameras. We need to check footprint DNAs. We need to check handprint DNAs. We need to check everything possible. They're like, sir, that technology hasn't been invented yet. Like, it'll be on some stuff that I know I would think of, because I'm like, if I'm really trying to prove my innocence, I'm like, no, we got to do like a smell DNA. Like, was I in this area? We got to do everything impossible, because I'm like, no, I did not commit this crime. Okay, so like we all gonna have to investigate this, okay? Because I guarantee and I promise you, I will be sitting there cooperating, doing it, because I know people gonna be all like, like, let's say if it's a situation where I'm with a friend, they do some stuff, and they looking at me as if I was a part of that crime, and they're all like, look, if you don't testify against this individual, you will also be getting life without parole. I would testify, I would snitch, because I have no reason spending life without parole in prison. No, I want to spend life without parole outside of prison, okay? And like, just living my day-to-day life. Like, nah, man, it's just something that I couldn't do. So 100%, if anybody was wondering, yes, I would snitch. I'm not no street dude. I'm not living by no street codes or any of that stuff. If somebody's putting my life, if the thing is this, if like they are putting my life in a situation to where they're like, look, bro, don't snitch, we gotta stick together on this, and it's like, no, you should have been thinking about that when you committed this crime that led us into this situation. You gonna have to take the fall. Like, you are 100% gonna have to take the fall if you know you did that crime and committed that crime and stuff. But yeah, it's like, overall, if you know you did not like commit no crimes, it's like, yeah, if it was like the other way around, I know for a fact if it was a situation where somebody did something and I was there and they looking at me and they're going to be all like, oh, nah, bro, don't testify. I just know for a fact if I were to do something and they didn't do anything, they're testifying against me. I'm like, that's just my luck. I feel like that's what will happen. It's like they're expecting me not to do it to them, but they're going to turn around and do something like that to me. So yeah, that's why I'm like, nah, bruh. I trust nobody when it comes to this outside like adventures. I'm like, no, if you do some stuff, that is on you, my friend. So it's one of those things. I know people about like, what if it's like somebody that you really, 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 really care about? Like it's a family member or a very close friend or your significant other. I'm like I said, if they put me in a situation, okay, where I'm supposed to like stand by their side, I'm like, they wasn't thinking about that when I was there. They wasn't, because like, no, my thing is this. If they commit a crime, they need to come out and say that they committed that crime. And I had nothing to do with it. Because I'm like, it shouldn't even be a situation where they're like, they want me to stick together. I guess like if it's on some like petty stuff, right? Like if it's on something where like let's say we were outside fighting, like we were like whoever seen us, we seen them, confrontation came about, we all was fighting each other and stuff, and they said we were the aggressors. I'm like, yeah, if it's on some stuff like that where it's like, okay, I know we ain't gonna, we most likely not gonna get time. It'll just be like a mutual thing where it's like, okay, we were all fighting, so either we all going to jail or we all gonna go home or something. But if it's on some stuff where it's like they do something crazy, yeah, I'm like, nah, bro, you gonna have to come out and tell them cops that you did what you did and stuff. Don't try to drag me into this, because I'm like, look, you honestly don't care about, prison and all that if you going out committing these crimes and stuff. So yeah, man, it's it's crazy, that life without parole. It's like I be watching that TV show Court Cam. It's funny though, I was thinking about that prior before I was doing this podcast episode. I'm like, how me and my family, we all watch some sort of like reality like TV shows and stuff. Like my dad, he'll watch crime shows. My mom, she watches like based on a true story like type movies and stuff. I'll be watching them too. It's funny because I watch any of the shows that my family watch, because I'm like, no, a lot of the time them shows be good. And so and then yeah, so dad watches crime shows, mom watches like based on a true story movies and stuff. I watch the wild stuff. I watch like America's Wildest Videos, or World's Dumbest, or whatever the situation is. Like I'll be watching that. And then my sister, she watches like reality TV shows like the Housewives of whatever city they in, Jersey Shore. But like, no, I haven't. No, have I watched one of them Housewives episodes? I feel like I might have, like, just to see what it was about. but I don't think I was paying too much attention to it. And then like Jersey Shore, I was like, no, that show is funny. I don't know though, like I know because they got like the episodes now where they're kind of like they're a little older than, you know, when they very first started. But I like watching the old shows because I like those guys is out there partying every week and stuff, just going out doing whatever. Got the little, what was it? What kind of phone was it? Was it a duck phone? It was some type of phone. But it's like, you know, stuff like that is entertaining and things. But yeah, then it's like it just leads to them court shows and them people on there. That's another thing that I don't understand. It's like if you are in court, right? And then you like you going like no you know you're not gonna get a lot of time, and you're thinking like, oh, okay, well I could just escape, I could just leave. Bro, if you are in custody, you can't do that. Like, it's crazy. I'll be watching that TV show Court Cam. There was this one episode where the guy, he almost like hurt himself badly, you know, doing this and things. Like I think the accident, it was pretty bad. But so anyways, I think they sentenced him a certain amount of time, like in prison. Wasn't a whole lot compared to what he ended up getting. But anyways, he was like, I can't do that. I'm sorry, but I can't do that and things. I don't think there was no cops in there like monitoring him and stuff, or like holding him up there and things so they could take him away. I think it was just, you know, him just by himself, or he was there, his significant other. But so anyways, he was like, I can't do that. So he ends up leaving. His girlfriend's like confused. She don't know what to do. She don't know whether she stays in the court or go with her boyfriend, but she ended up going with her boyfriend. And then at some point in time, he ended up crashing the car. And yeah, like he had, I think he was well, after that, and it was like all the other crimes that came with it and stuff, because I think he had hit somebody. And then yeah, I'm trying to see, I don't know if I can find that story and stuff. I'm sitting here trying to think like, okay, man leaves courtroom and crashes into car. Is that how it went? Cleveland man leaves court during sentencing, crashes car. I think this may be it. This might be it. I don't know for sure if it's not. Police say a man being sentenced in a road rage case walked out of an Ohio courtroom, jumped in the car, led police on a chase before crashing into an SUV. Authorities say a couple and their baby were hurt in the crash near Akron, along with the 19-year-old suspect. The injuries weren't serious. Police say such and such, I ain't gonna name him, of Cleveland, had just been sentenced to 60 days in jail when he looked around the courtroom, quickly walked out Wednesday. Yeah, so it was like he wasn't even gonna get that much time, and it's crazy. It's like 60 days in jail versus like, okay, now you got like this other charge of hitting this car, eluding the cops, eluding from a courtroom, and it's like, yeah, bro, you really messed yourself up now. So in the courtroom, quickly walked out. Such and such wasn't handcuffed, and there were no police in the courtroom. Bailiff gave chase, and the judge yelled for such and such to come back. Police say he then jumped in the car outside the court and took off. Court records don't say whether it has an attorney. This happened back in 2017. I think it was his girlfriend that was with him and stuff. So, yeah, I think this was man charged with the felonies, indicted, grand jury of vehicular assault. Yeah, I think this was a situation injuring his female. Yup, this was it. This was definitely it. So I was like, I wonder, sentence charged with felony seconds. They don't even say like how much time he got after the situation and stuff, but yeah, man, it's like you can't do that. It's like you can't do things like that and then think you're gonna get away with it and stuff. So overall, it's like moral of this podcast episode: don't put yourself in a situation where you gotta go to prison, because it's it ain't all that good. You know, it's like that's why that man was like he couldn't do his time. Others don't be wanting to do their time. Like there's a lot of different things you could learn about like prison and stuff. And yeah, based off of what I've seen and from what I've heard, it ain't all that good. It ain't really good at all. I know they may be posting them videos where dudes be making TikToks in prisons and they be having like a lavish looking, you know, room and all that stuff, but they're in prison. Like, you know, they don't have like a day-to-day life like the, you know, people outside of prison and stuff. So Yeah, man, it's crazy. But anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on a podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to all my 43 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram at TMossBoss. And make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, if you are purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss and we'll knock $20 off your first purchase. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.